Staying with the United States now, abortion rights in the country continue to make headlines as the battle between pro-life and pro-choice groups heats up in the state of Arizona. A few days ago, we told you about a court ruling in Arizona that paved the way for the 1864 law to be implemented in the desert state. Now, the law brings a blanket ban on abortion, with the exception of cases where the mother's life is in danger. On Wednesday, Democrat leader in Arizona's House of Representatives tried several times to repeal the centuries-old law. However, they failed to do so without Republican support, which they needed to stop the Civil War-era measure from becoming a state law.
To the people of the state of Arizona, your choice...
I understand that we have deeply held beliefs, and I would ask everyone in this chamber to respect the fact that some of us believe that abortion is in fact the murder of children.
In 4 votes, the state chamber remained deadlocked 30-30 on a procedural motion that would have allowed a repeal bill to come to the floor. With 1 Republican vote had joined the 29 Democrats, and the left needed 1 more Republican vote to repeal the law, which is so old that it was written when Arizona was not even a state.
To the people of the state of Arizona, your choice is clear. If you believe that a 12-year-old who has been raped by her stepfather should be forced to give birth, vote for the Republican Party. If you believe that families and medical providers should make their own decisions about their futures, vote for Democrats. Period.
The Biden-led Democrats camp have said that they will try to get the law repealed again. As of now, the law takes effect in 60 days since the court order, which was passed on April 9th, which means Democrat lawmakers have time till June 9th to get the law repealed. While Democrats and Republicans butted heads over the state law, many people, including abortion activists and pro-life supporters, were gathered outside the Arizona state capitol, waiting on the verdict.
I'm devastated is an understatement that in 2024, our Supreme Court here in Arizona would uphold a Civil War era ban from 1864. That's before women could vote. My ancestors were probably slaves at that point in time. It makes absolutely no sense, and it's out of step with what Arizona voters want.
And as far as today, we stand by the Supreme Court of Arizona. From what I understand of the law, from what I read, it only makes exceptions for the life of the mother, which we agree with, and it only talks about imprisoning abortionists, not the women, which we agree with. And so we're just here to show our support and be with fellow pro-lifers.
To clarify for our viewers, there is more than one hurdle that faces the Democrats. If in the coming few weeks the repeal passes in the House, Democrats also would need help in the Senate to pass the bill, which will effectively repeal the law. But the Republicans hold a 16-14 edge in the Senate as well, making it an uphill climb for their political rivals. Now, if at all else it fails, there is one last sword left in the armor for pro-choice supporters and the left-leaning voters of the state. Abortion activists say that they have exceeded the signature threshold to put a constitutional amendment on abortion on the state's ballot in the month of November. Once abortion is on the ballot alongside President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump, it will then be up to the voters to decide whether or not an abortion ban will be implemented in the state. Now, to take this further, our correspondent Susan Tehrani is joining us live from New York. Susan, good to see you. We are here talking about abortion yet again, just 7 months before U.S. presidential elections. What is the latest you can tell us?
Well, you described it perfectly well, with all the ebbs and flows that are going to come up because of Arizona's decision. But I do also want to say that this decision might also galvanize those that are anti-abortion and have worked for legislation like this for a very long time. Ultimately, the Democrats were looking to see that they will possibly take advantage of this decision and show themselves as champions of women's rights and reproductive rights. and to try to cast and paint the Republicans as being out of touch with a modern America. What's interesting to note is that President Trump also criticized this vote on the part of Alabama and said that, you know, this is basically going very far, and that it, Arizona, that it's going very far, and basically we need to find a middle ground. But Arizona, you know, went ahead and tried to do this. We're also hearing that people not only are afraid to get information from officials and doctors in their own state, and they're turning to places like social media, notably TikTok, to try to get answers, notably women, on what to do next.
That's some dangerous territory there. Thank you so much for joining us here on WION, Susan, and getting us all those updates. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.